Once upon a time in a quiet suburban neighborhood that felt as pixelated as a N64 screen, there lived a man named Thomas. Thomas was an ordinary guy by day, working a desk job, but his true passion was Super Mario 64. His basement was a shrine to the game. Shelves lined with cartridges, posters of Bob-omb Battlefield, figurines of Chain Chomps, and even a custom-built warp pipe replica that doubled as a laundry chute. He could recite every star location by heart, from the 100 coin challenges to the secret slides. Yahoo! He'd yell triumphantly after beating his personal best time on the wing cap course, his eyes glued to the screen for hours. His wife, Susanna, had once found his enthusiasm charming, back when they were dating, and he'd whisper, "It's a me, Thomas," in her ear. But over the years, as the memorabilia piled up like collected power stars, her patience wore thin. "Thomas, enough with the Mamma Mia. Every time something goes wrong," she'd snap. She despised how he'd prioritize grinding for that 120th star over date nights, or how he'd ramble about the endless staircase glitch as if it were profound philosophy. "You're living in a fantasy world," she'd argue, while he countered with, "But life's just one big level, and I've got to collect all the coins." Enter Tyrone, a slick gangster from the rough side of town. Tyrone was everything Thomas wasn't. Tough, tattooed, with a gold chain that gleamed like a one-up mushroom. He ran underground operations, dodging the law like Mario evading Goombas. Susanna met him at a local bar one night when Thomas was too busy replaying Cool Mountains Penguin Race. Tyrone didn't talk about video games, he talked about real power, real risks. "Baby, I'm the king of this castle," he'd say, flashing a grin. Susanna was hooked, finally, someone who didn't treat life like a platformer. Their affair started innocently enough, with stolen meetings in shadowy alleys that reminded Susanna of the shifting sand land pyramid. But soon, it escalated. "Why stay with that plumber wannabe?" Tyrone whispered one night, as they hid in his sleek black car. "He's all, press start to play, but I'm the real boss level." Susanna laughed, confessing how Thomas's obsession drove her mad. "He even has a Bowser statue in our bedroom. I feel like I'm married to a Koopa Troopa." Tyrone pulled her close. "Let me show you what it's like to really jump into action, no extra lives needed." Word got back to Thomas eventually, through a nosy neighbor who overheard whispers like echoes in hazy Maze Cave. At first, he brushed it off. "No way, that's just a glitch," he muttered, diving deeper into his game. But the evidence mounted. Susanna's late nights, the scent of Tyrone's cologne lingering like a poison flower. One fateful evening, Thomas came home early from work to find them in the living room, tangled up on the couch amid his scattered Mario memorabilia. "What in the Whomp's fortress is this?" Thomas stammered, his voice cracking like a falling thwomp. Susanna stood up, defiant. "Thomas, I've had it. Your stupid game is ruining our lives. Tyrone here doesn't spend his days yelling, 'Wahoo!' at a screen, he's out there, living dangerously." Tyrone smirked, cracking his knuckles. "Yeah, plumber boy, time to face the final boss. So long, Bowser style." Something snapped in Thomas. The betrayal hit him harder than a cannon blast from lethal lava land. He retreated to his basement, the glow of the TV screen illuminating his descent into madness. "If life's a game," he whispered to himself, "then I need to power up." Hours turned into days as he immersed himself fully, blurring the lines between reality and the Mushroom Kingdom. He started muttering lines non-stop, "Here we go." As he plotted, "Let's-a go." As he gathered supplies. Finally, Thomas emerged, transformed. He'd fashioned a red cap from an old hat, painted a mustache on his face with marker, and armed himself with power-ups from his collection, sharp-edged wing cap replicas, a hammer like Mario's from the 64DS remake, and even fireworks rigged like Bob-ombs. He tracked them to Tyrone's hideout, a dingy warehouse that felt like the inside of Big Boo's haunt. Bursting in with a dramatic "Yahoo!" Thomas caught them off guard. Tyrone reached for his gun, but Thomas was quicker, leaping like a triple jump and hurling a makeshift fire flower explosive, a bottle rocket from his memorabilia stash. "Tough luck, Koopa," Thomas shouted as it detonated near Tyrone, sending the gangster flying into a stack of crates. Tyrone groaned, trying to stand. "What the?" But Thomas was relentless, channeling the wing Mario over the rainbow star. He soared well, jumped from a pallet and delivered a ground pound with his hammer. "Mamma mia!" Tyrone yelped as the blow landed, crumpling him like a squished Goomba. "Game over for you," Thomas hissed, finishing the job with a precise strike. Tyrone's end was swift, his body slumping like a defeated boss, fading into the shadows. Susanna screamed, backing away. Thomas, you're crazy. This isn't a game. But in his fractured mind, it was. You jumped on my heart like a platform, he replied, eyes wild. Now it's time for the secret course. He chased her through the warehouse, dodging crates like obstacles in tick-tock clock. She tried to hide behind a forklift, but Thomas wall jumped up a wall, grabbing a ledge. Ha ha, found you, he cackled, echoing the Lakitu cameraman's taunts. Cornered, Susanna pleaded. Please, let's talk, reset, like your save file. But Thomas shook his head. No extra lives left. He activated his final power star, a rigged chain chomp toy turned into a swinging weight, and let it loose. It swung wildly, striking her like the pendulum in Saw tick-tock clock. Bye-bye, he yelled as she fell, her cries fading like the end of a failed level. In his delusion, stars burst forth, and he collected them triumphantly. Thomas vanished after that, rumored to wander the city, muttering, 100% completion, to himself. Some say he lives in an abandoned arcade, forever chasing ghosts in his own personal Super Mario 64 nightmare. And if you listen closely on quiet nights, you might hear a faint, "So long, Gay Bowser," echoing in the wind. The end, or should I say, thank you so much for playing my game.